Hello. If you've been following my content, which I doubt you have, over the past 12 months, you'll know that I've been exploring like spirituality, history, mythology, megaliths, conspiracy theories, that sort of thing, okay? And I also made imagination videos with imaginary characters to help me tackle and deal with some of the world major problems going on Earth, in society, in environment, and with culture, okay? So just in a nutshell, alright? I've just explained that. I see time as non-linear. I see time as spherical, okay? And since I started seeing time as spherical, freaky shit's been happening in reality to me, and it feels like I'm ahead of time. I make videos and imaginary characters that say things that I never ever thought of or expressed feelings about or believed. Then months and months later, those things start to manifest in front of me, meaning like I'm making videos in the past that correlate to future events. Prophecy, okay? And I don't try to spend too much time on labelling myself. I just try to get down to the work of trying to figure out the source of the problems and how we can go about fixing the problems before it's too late. So I've realised that there are others in the world that see time the way I do, non-linear, spherical. And what that means is that everything that's happened or will happen or is happened recently or happened in the history of past is technically still happening. It's all in the now, right? There is no difference between us being colonised 2,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, 200 years ago, 100 years ago, and today. I see it all as just one big war of us overcoming oppression and targeting the enemies who are oppressing and enabling and lying to us. And I believe that they can see through the veil and see above time, as I can. And there are people in the physicist world and metaphysical world and esoteric world on the internet. I can see that they know what I'm knowing, but they're a bit more smarter and discreet about it and present more historical information and facts than I do. And I respect them, and I feel I connect with them. If it is true, because now that I've see time in this way, it means that I see the world and society and history and current economic planetary problems in a different way. And I sometimes draw conclusions in my mind about what is happening and what is most urgent. And I know probably a lot of it is just me guessing and imaginary and maybe delusional and maybe alarmist or fatalistic. But some of it is quite realistic. Some of it, I've used analysis and logic and rational thinking to get myself to those conclusions. But and then there's the fact that I've kind of been living in an ancestor plane or spiritual plane, astral plane, half living for a while now. And I'm not going to preach this too much with video, but it has to be said, and I'm just going to say it. There's evil. Evil exists. Heroes exist to fight evil. I'm not saying I'm one of them. I'm just saying they exist. They made society and the social program in such a way to inhibit the heroes from fighting the evil, to inhibit ordinary, everyday people from discovering the truth of the oppression, and how ridiculous all of these social structured systems are. And there's big looming threats for us spiritually, and there are agendas, collective agendas, that mean us harm. And I believe, or I hold on to the faith, that there are spiritual or interdimensional bodies or entities that some of them don't mean us harm, some of them want to help. In a way, they're kind of getting fucked over as well, and I refer to them as ancestors. But I think it's gone above that realm of not just ancestors. Accessing your ancestors is like the initiate step, gateway step into the world of deities that want to assist. But they have to put you through tests first to gauge your integrity and your morality and your heart and your truth and, all the self-exploration stuff. If you keep going with it, if you keep going with the uncovering your self-deception and your self-delusion, and you keep working on yourself and your trauma, and you be really, real with yourself and your trauma, there's more. You start to uncover trauma of the earth and recurring trauma to society. I know Jordan B. Peterson is on this buzz. I know a lot of people on the internet who are psychologists who study and are fans of Carl Jung know this buzz. I feel like we can all connect together and put the jigsaw pieces together to come up with solutions. And I'll just reinstate that our ancestors, as in all of our ancestors, they exist still in the timeless realm of now. They exist in our blood and in our DNA memory and in the collective consciousness kind of cloud bubble that's around us, the atmosphere. They exist. They fucking are very worried for us and for the future state of us and for afterlife. There's threats to the afterlife, and the enemy is not evil spirits and evil entities and evil aliens. Enemy is mechanic. I think all the spirits and deities and ancestors and realms of beings and little, elves that talk to you when you're on DMT and all the beings that people claim to see when they're on psychedelics, I think they are united. Everyone's making alliances to combat the biggest threat to humanity and to the dimensions and to our afterlife and other realms of existence that we have no idea of how to comprehend or come up with, is at threat because of this mechanic threat that's infiltrated us on every angle, past, present, future, spiritually, environmentally, socially, politically, everywhere. And it's freaky when you see things in this way, because you start to see a lot of humans this robotic following the program. So it's pretty freaky, but if we're just aware of it and build self-awareness and try and network with others with information and try not to hold too strongly onto our own beliefs and try and be fluid and flexible with our beliefs and just remembering we don't know the whole complete truth. There is existence after death. I've got theories about reincarnation that would freak everybody out. I try to keep them to myself, but maybe I should start talking about them. We need to start connecting deeply with ourselves individually and work on ourselves individually so that you can gain the answers, wisdom, knowledge, and alliances with the side that we can use to help the world collectively. So it doesn't just, once you get on top of your own trauma and you realise what your own trauma is and working through it, don't have to completely heal it. It doesn't heal trauma. It just, you can transform from it, right? Once you get through that stage, there's more to uncover, and it's collective. And it's how can we solve this problem that we're in with Earth and humanity and environment. I've nailed down the number one enemy, I think. And I think it is mechanic, and I don't know if it's like interdimensional entities controlling it, probably. But it's gotten out of hand now to the point where I think that's why we're in a simulation matrix, because somehow the mechanic AIs or whatever, future robots, have been instructed or programmed to infiltrate us in the after realms. And it's also a lot of based on belief. So mass belief, millions and millions of people believing in one thing and not believing in another thing, has significance. So they need to tell us and teach us what they want us to believe to inhibit us. Because belief and imagination are hugely crucial to our existence. And they're getting kind of squashed out and stamped out, yeah. And voices are getting silenced. And injustice is rampant. And, like, that needs to be acknowledged. Sometimes I feel like the whole entire, like, thing that I'm thinking is true is so hopeless and desperate and pointless and not worth the fight, like, is there not enough people believing, that I just think, well, maybe my existence is about revenge and retribution for the harms that have already been done. Because I don't know if I can help any future, you know, unless you, like, just integrate yourself in your community, your local community, and volunteer and get connected with everyone around you, so that when things get harder in the future, you've got a team of support around you. And you all know what is what and who the real enemy is. It's not your neighbour, it's not your brother, your sister, your mother, your father, your grandmother, your kids. It's the institutional structures around us, enabling and oppressing us, deceiving us, milking us, and wanting us to stay, like, robotic and dumb and follow the program. Alright, just going to leave this video there. Thanks for watching. I'm up for ideas, more solutions, and more branch theories if people have got them.